She was the television mom every kid in America wished they had. Gentle, wise, and endlessly patient. With her kind eyes and calm voice, she soothed audiences week after week on the beloved series Lassie. Her name is June Lockhart, and though most remember her as the caring mother of Timmy and the woman who could always solve a problem with a smile, her real life has been just as fascinating and perhaps even wilder than anyone realized. Now, as she celebrates a full century of life, it's time to look back at the remarkable story of June Lockhart, the child of Hollywood royalty who became a legend in her own right. June Lockhart was born on June 25, 1925, in New York City, into a family that practically had show business running through its veins. Her parents, Gene Lockhart and Kathleen Lockhart, were both accomplished actors. Gene was a character actor known for roles in classics like A Christmas Carol and His Girl Friday, while Kathleen appeared alongside him in numerous films. Growing up surrounded by scripts, costumes, and rehearsals, June didn't just dream of being on stage, and it was the world she was born into. By the time she was 8, June had already made her Broadway debut in Peter Ibbotson, a role that would have terrified most children, but thrilled her. Her natural poise and confidence were immediately noticeable. Unlike many child performers of her time, she didn't appear coached or forced into the spotlight. She belonged there. Hollywood soon took notice, and at just 12 years old, June made her film debut in A Christmas Carol, 1938, appearing alongside her real-life parents. It was a magical start, a family affair that marked the beginning of an extraordinary career that would span over 8 decades. As she grew older, June blossomed into a talented young actress, appearing in films during Hollywood's golden era. She had a natural grace that made her stand out. In the 1940s, she appeared in movies like Sergeant York and Meet Me in St. Louis, working alongside some of the biggest stars of the time. But June was not content with just being the daughter of famous actors. She was determined to build her own legacy, one that would go beyond the shadow of her parents. Her big break came in the early 1950s when she transitioned to television, a medium that was still finding its identity. While some film actors hesitated to make the jump to the small screen, June saw opportunity. She understood that television would bring her closer to audiences, and she was right. In 1958, she was cast in the role that would define her career and make her a household name, Ruth Martin, the loving mother in Lassie. The show told the story of a loyal collie in the family who loved her, and June's performance as the nurturing, wise, and steady mother made her an instant fan favorite. Her portrayal felt real, not overly dramatic or artificial. She brought warmth and authenticity to the role, so much so that audiences often thought of her as their own mother figure. Children wrote her letters, adults admired her composure, and families tuned in every week to watch her guide young Timmy and Lassie through one adventure after another. But what many didn't know was that behind the scenes, June Lockhart was far from the delicate homemaker she played on television. In reality, she was fiercely independent, witty, and adventurous. She was a woman who broke barriers in a time when Hollywood expected women to stay quiet, smile, and stay in their lanes. During the height of her fame, she flew airplanes, explored science, and engaged deeply with the world around her. When Lassie ended, June didn't slow down. She reinvented herself. In the 1960s, she took on another iconic role, playing Maureen Robinson in Lost in Space. This time, instead of being the mother of a boy and his dog, she was the matriarch of a family traveling the galaxy. The show was ahead of its time, blending adventure, science fiction, and family dynamics. Once again, June became the heart of the story. Her intelligence and strength shone through every scene, proving that she was more than just a TV mom. She was a pioneer who showed that women could be both nurturing and strong, maternal yet intelligent, kind but commanding. Lost in Space introduced June Lockhart to a whole new generation of fans. Kids who had once grown up watching Lassie now saw her as the brave mother guiding her family through intergalactic challenges. The show's mix of humor, heart, and futuristic imagination made it a cult classic. To this day, it remains one of the most beloved sci-fi series of all time, and June's performance continues to be praised for its warmth and authority. As the years passed, June continued to act in television and film, appearing in shows like Petticoat Junction, General Hospital, and even making guest appearances in the 1998 Lost in Space film adaptation. Her versatility and professionalism made her one of the most respected actresses in Hollywood. But what's perhaps most remarkable is how she carried herself off-screen. June Lockhart has always been known for her elegance, quick wit, and charm. She wasn't just an actress. She was an ambassador of sorts for an era of Hollywood that valued grace and dignity. Yet she was also surprisingly modern in her views. She championed education, encouraged young women to pursue science and technology, and was a strong advocate for animal welfare, a cause close to her heart since her Lassie days. Her fascination with science led to one of the most surprising turns in her life. June Lockhart developed close relationships with NASA scientists and astronauts. Her role in Lost in Space had sparked a genuine curiosity about space exploration, and she was invited to attend numerous NASA launches over the years. She became such a regular visitor that she was even granted an honorary membership to several space organizations. It wasn't uncommon to see her at rocket launches, chatting enthusiastically with engineers and astronauts half her age, her eyes lighting up like a child seeing the stars for the first time. As she approached her later years, June continued to live with the same energy and optimism that defined her youth. Even in her 90s, she attended public events, signed autographs for fans, and gave interviews filled with humor and wisdom. When asked about the secret to her longevity, she often credited it to curiosity, always wanting to learn something new, always staying engaged with life. Now at 100 years old, June Lockhart remains a living link to the golden age of Hollywood and to the pioneering days of television. Her legacy spans generations. For some, she'll forever be Ruth Martin, the gentle mother calling Lassie home at the end of an episode. For others, she's Maureen Robinson, the fearless woman lost among the stars. But for everyone, she's a symbol of endurance, proof that talent, grace, and intelligence never go out of style. Her century-long life is filled with stories that sound almost mythical. She's met presidents, danced with movie legends, and witnessed the evolution of entertainment from radio to streaming. She once joked that she'd worked with every dog in Hollywood, but she also worked with some of the most influential actors and directors of her time. And through it all, she remained humble, gracious, and endlessly curious. Friends and colleagues often describe her as mischievous and full of life. Even now, she loves to share behind-the-scenes stories from Lassie and Lost in Space, often with a twinkle in her eye and that unmistakable laugh. She has said that she never planned to live to 100. She just never stopped living. Perhaps that's the secret to her enduring spirit. She never let age define her. As June Lockhart celebrates her milestone birthday, she stands as one of the last surviving stars from Hollywood's golden age. She has lived through wars, revolutions, and entertainment, and the rise of technology that has transformed the way stories are told. Through it all, she remained true to herself, elegant, grounded, and forever curious. In a world that often forgets its legends, June Lockhart's story is a reminder of what it means to live fully, love deeply, and age gracefully. She didn't just entertain generations, and she inspired them. Whether she was comforting a child on Lassie, steering a spaceship in Lost in Space, or laughing with fans decades later, she carried with her the same spark that made her unforgettable. At 100 years old, June Lockhart's life truly is wild, not in chaos or scandal, but in adventure, resilience, and joy. From Broadway to outer space, from black and white television to digital streaming, she has seen it all, done it all, and embraced every era with grace. She remains a testament to the power of curiosity, the magic of storytelling, and the timeless beauty of a life well lived. So the next time you see her smiling face in an old episode of Lassie, remember this: the woman who played America's favorite TV mom didn't just act out love and wisdom, she lived it. June Lockhart is more than a star. She's a living piece of history, still shining bright at 100, still reminding us all that age is just a number, and that a true legend never fades. She only grows more luminous with time.